That was technically live, so keep the things you want to say to the things you want to be heard.
And another thing that's wrong with you and everything that you love.
Well, we already know you say those things. You can't hurt me anymore, Raph.
Actually, Alexander the Great did nothing wrong.
Where's that from?
What, that one? I was just like toning down internet arguments.
Alright, we are going to be playing the Myriad song After Event. And I believe you guys know the conceit of the game, that this takes place good 900-ish years after some event has shut down most of the Mog Towers. Well, all of the Mog Towers, I don't know why I use the word most. And,
Well, the ones we can find, anyway.
Right, well, if you can't find them, then they might as well not be there. There is still the one on Sinkva, the main planet of the system, because this is a very human-centric system, and they are the original colonists. Everybody else, and I think none of you are playing humans, which makes you the everyone else, came after the fact, and were allowed to be here due to colonization and mining rights sold off by the original human colonists. Going to do this slightly different, which I think I say like every game I've started. Instead of having you guys read off mottos of who you are, I'm going to go player to player and introduce you in a different way, and then have you introduce your mottos and your name and who you are that way. And Raph still isn't in the Roll20, so...
Oh, crap, I was earlier.
I think you might have maybe joined the wrong one. Remember I linked you one last night.
Yeah, you did. Here we go.
I'm going to assume you're going to show up on my list after Arcloid. Yep, okay. So I'm going to pick you at random. And that is Raph.
I'm on the internet.
So I'm going to bring you over to here.
Hello, world.
Other people can see.
Ooh, spacey.
Right, oh, hold on, let me open the notepad I have for you. Well, you know what, first thing we gotta start with, why don't you just introduce your character, Raph, since I don't even know your name yet.
Okay, I am Avala de Portia.
Could you write that in chat?
Oh. Maybe. And yes, I am playing a determined Rax high-tech laborer. I formerly worked in some of the helium extraction processes on the planet, on one of the other system planets. But that's not what that's not my career option. That's not what I want to do with my life. I have other ambitions. So, as a weird spider-like alien, I have married my husband, who I carry with me. And we're going to find a place and make a new family. Thousands of us. Blot out the sun.
A true horror for everyone to behold, I'm sure.
Yeah, you mispronounced glory.
Yes, that's what I did. You got me.
And my personal motto is the time for conversation has ended.
Got it. Alright, well, as you can see from the imagery I've thrown down on the map, you are currently still at the Vespasian refinery on Setvum, because you're still working there, given the information that you gave me. You work on one of the, well, you wouldn't be on a mid-level, you'd be on a lower level of the space elevator that connects you to the asteroid Vestra, which was what anchors you in orbit over the gas giant that is Setvum. You are on one of the levels where the the hydrogen and other gases in the atmosphere get pumped up through to the refinery levels. And it is your job and the job of the people who operate on the level that you are also on to monitor the refinery and to ensure that proper levels of materials are gathered. Basically like cleaning scrubbers, but on a very high-tech level. Understood?
Oh yeah,
Alright.
it's a dangerous and unhealthy job.
Alright. Let me just move this thing over here, because I've given... Oh, that's a bit too small. I've given everybody else a little token so they can see what's happening, so I'll just drag them over to be able to see inside. Because where we enter into the scene is I didn't know what kind of token to give you, so I just gave you the question mark until you figure out what you want to look like. I don't judge. Is you sitting around the workroom. Because you guys live on this level until, at some point you decide taking a break, going upstairs, that sort of thing. And you are reviewing today's operational agreements. Sitting across from you are Jackson and Torin. They are looking over their own handouts, which were sent down. Otherwise, it's just another ordinary day for you, Mvela.
Yep.
In the next hour or so, you're gonna have to go over into the next main room to operate the refinery tubes and ensure that everything goes to standard. But I want to ask you now, before the workday begins, is there anything you want to cover?
I don't think so. I think I've got my gear and I'm already set up. I am trying to invest as much money as possible into the pension retirement for reasons I care not to disclose to other people.
Right.
But nope. Looks like another day of technoid drudgery.
Alright.
Another day, another note.
In case question arises, the blue, like this, on the map, those are, I almost used the word like plexus steel. It's high quality window unit.
Yeah,
So
transparent windows.
Yeah, whatever we want to call them. I haven't named them. Like I said, I was about to use plastic steel.
Well, are you ready? Are you ready? Windows.
There we go. And these colors are doors. In this case, this is a large... sorry, my brain is going. Airlock. Say airlock. This is a large airlock, presumably to be sealed in case of an emergency. And that is also the direction that you would be able to see the refinery workspace.
Okay, that's a little weird because you have a window there, but then you have an airlock. Isn't there a vestibule on the other side of the airlock?
No.
So that just goes into open space.
No. You should be able to see in there. Here, I'll just drag you over there. You're not there right now, but I'm dragging you in so you can see. That's the refinement area.
It stayed solid black.
It did. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. When I made your token, you weren't actually in the Roll20 yet, so you didn't have control of it. So hold on.
Okay. I also shrank. I'm tiny now.
No. That's the token for everybody. You're this.
Oh, there
token.
we go. Now.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't realize there was that confusion.
Okay.
So,
wow, this is a pretty big airlock.
Yeah. Well, no. The airlock is to seal off that side of the facility in case of an emergency. You see, there's another airlock over here, and you know that one leads out, not into space, but into the outside environment, which again you can actually breathe. Remember, as we previously discussed.
Okay. All right. So we're still at atmosphere level. Okay.
Well, it's not your well, yeah. Technically, you are, because as you remember, I said there was varying amounts of bacteria that lived on the in the airspace of this hydrogen gas giant, which produces on the levels that you're at a breathable atmosphere. The real problem would be the temperature outside is not cold enough to kill you, but not very. You wouldn't want to be out there for a long period of time. Especially.
Well, I'm assuming it's only at. That makes it a little weird because helium rises.
Right.
So why is there oxygen here and not helium?
because you're on a lower level.
Oh wow, so the helium's actually above us.
Right. This is a refinery that pulls in the atmosphere that's on a space
Oh,
elevator
okay.
tethered to an asteroid in orbit. So you're basically dangled down throughout various levels of the atmosphere. You are on a
Okay.
lower level of the space elevator.
Okay, that's different than what I was expecting. I was expecting that like helium was either frozen or in clinging gas, and we were bringing it up, but we're actually below a curtain. That's kind of neat.
Right, and there's various levels. So, I mean, there could be a lower level that has closer to whatever core this planet has, but again, that would be slightly more difficult.
Well, I'm sure I don't want to go outside because I'm sure the other workers here talk about the mysterious blue lung disease that people are getting from being out there, which of course the company denies.
Actually, oh shit, I'm sorry, I'm missing one of your notepads. Let's see. No, it's not
But
Joule. I've got Joules.
but we get paid the big bucks because helium and hydrogen have lots of industrial applications.
Right, and
Plus,
that's
also, there are trace gases here of other things too. Like, for example, like not just helium, but I'm guessing there's got to be like xenon is very important in the manufacture of ray guns.
right. Well, as you've already discussed,
Right.
there's a lot of output that's not used specifically for what the refinery is used for that can then be manufactured into other things as well.
Right, and we know about this because we're day jobbers, so we're not engineers. We do a lot of the grunt work of making sure the extractors are working, a lot of climbing. I guess Torn and Jackson work here because, well, first of all, we're aliens. We're not humans, so we're not part of the power block. But I'm
Right,
guessing they work.
they're cricks, of course.
Yeah, and they of course work here because they don't care about atmosphere anyway. So
Right.
um,
I was
I,
gonna
I need
say
to
why
get.
they don't care about blue lung.
Yeah, me. I gotta get out of this job. Okay, sounds good.
All right. Torin is going to depart first as he goes off through the airlock to begin work in the refinery.
Okay.
And Jackson looks over at Torin as he passes through the airlock, and when it seals back through, he looks over at you. It says, "Hey, I think I did it. I think I finally got it working."
Um, I'm going to continue pretending to read the work order because I'm not here to make friends. And I'm going to say, yeah, yep. I'm going to say, like in the most neutral tone I can, that's great. I knew you would eventually get it working.
Okay, sorry, I mislabeled your notepad, so I. Don't you get it?
Yeah.
It's gonna make us all rich. We can finally get the hell out of here.
That's when I have to pause and think. My character doesn't remember any of this plan. But he said getting rich, which is something I actually care about. Hmm. Uh, I guess I'll pause and you're sure no one else is going to find out about this, right?
And he'll look back at the window. I guess we're just gonna call it a window. He'll look
It's a
back at the
win.
window, yeah. And Torin is out there checking on the refinery. So he goes, "It's just you, me, and Torin. I don't think. I mean, unless they got some sort of listening devices in here, but I haven't been able to find any."
Um, if they had any listening devices in here, they'd probably make us repair them. So anyway, all right. So when are we going to see a return?
Well, first I gotta figure out what to do with it. I mean, I don't think I can take it to the big bosses. I think they would just claim it as their own.
They totally would. You're you're not like the other people here in the refinery. You're smart and composed of heterogeneous gases.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. This is why
No,
That's why me and you get along, to Portia.
that's totally true. Well, all right. We're going to start our shift in a few minutes. What do you need from me?
going to try it out first. And if it works, then I think you and me, we get off of this level. We head up to the asteroid and find a seller. I don't know. Maybe, maybe the industrials, maybe they'll buy it. Maybe we can just offload it for a big amount of payday.
I wouldn't want to risk using any of the communicators here because I'm sure that kind of conversation is eavesdropped. So you have the right idea. We should get out of here first. All right, you just give me the signal. I'm ready to go anytime.
Good to know. Let's get out there before Torin suspects something.
Okay.
Alright, so you are going to try and do a full day's work. What skills do you have to work a refinery?
Okay, skills I have that be relevant to this would be athletics, which I'm very good at. Craft, and which I have because I'm a Rax, and presence. No, sorry, not presence. Sorry, endurance is
Okay, I was
what I meant.
confused.
Actually, I don't have endurance, so I don't know why I said that. No, mostly what I have is athletics and craft, and observation.
Alright, give me a roll of mind, craft. I think those are the two that fit the most. You don't have any outfits or anything that add bonuses?
Not unless they issued us with one, because I'm wearing a standard vac suit. Doesn't give you a repair bonus. Right. So
what
either
about,
unless
gifts, any gifts that would add to
no.
this?
What I do have is team player, but I'm guessing we all have team player because we're all laborers.
Right.
Right. So yeah, I mean, naturally, when we work together, we work better. So I'm guessing that either I'm assisting somebody else or someone's giving me work.
Actually, technically, you are all working on separate.
Damn it! But we're team players.
I'll take that up with corporate, I guess.
Overworked and underpaid. Yeah, see, that's the problem. We're supposed to be working together. Okay, because I also have strength, but that doesn't apply to refinery. So
no, you're more working a console at the moment.
Well, I'm also smart. Okay, sorry about that. I forgot you don't do comments.
I just roll another d8 and a d4. The d8 will still count.
Well, that's 2 successes, so it's not bad.
That's more than enough than a normal person could do.
Well, this is my job.
Yeah.
But as a rush job, it's either a skilled day job or a shitty rush job.
Yeah, so you get through your normal work day and you've done an adequate amount of work. You at least know that word isn't going to come down the elevator. That
We'll hit the quotas. That's the important thing.
Yes. And when your alarm goes off, it's time to stop working.
Yep.
You'll all head back in to your living chambers. And Jackson is going to look at you. Say, once you get done getting cleaned up, come see me in my quarters.
I'm ready now. I follow him to his quarters.
I mean, he's gonna twist his head around to look at you, but he'll let you follow him.
I told you I'd be ready to go whenever. Can't do this fast enough. That's right, Cat. The cat agrees with me.
Alright. When he gets to his quarters, he's going to pull out a data pad from beneath his bed.
Okay.
He's gonna hand it to you to give a quick look over, and like in the way he looks at you gives the impression that he's intending for you to check his work.
I will check his work.
What skills do you have to check another person's work?
Deceit.
Are you actually checking his work, or are you trying to copy it?
I'm just going to tell him it's fine.
Okay.
I can't really. I got to be honest with you, Jackson. I was gonna say this looks great. Well, actually, no. I gotta be honest with you, Jackson. I have no idea what any of this is.
He goes, really? I thought this was you. Alright. He holds up one of his four hands
Yeah.
and says, well, he'll go over an explanation that using cold emission of electrons in the interior of an MTF reactor in a way to create plasma density sufficient to reduce the amount of time spent in a magnetic fuel confinement and generate a smoother energy pulse on the internal side of the fuel reaction is a way that he can then use energy releases filtered through the engines and reduce the wear of components, which he thinks in the long run will save people money and thus then be able to be paid back to him.
I'm gonna level with you here, Jackson. It's not me you have to impress. It's the people who are going to buy this who need to be impressed. And my other skill is presence, which I can actually score at least one success in. So maybe that'll make them feel better.
It at least seems to reassure him.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to impress me; you have to impress them. What you said makes sense to me, but we're common people, of the soil or inert gases or whatever it is we're surrounded by. It's important that we impress them with the razzle dazzle. Jackson, I know you can do it. I'll pat him with one arm and then a second arm because we all have four arms.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about that.
That's why we're down here. We're the forearm crew.
And he is the foreman.
Yes, the four-armed foreman.
Alright. Alright, you see him reach out, take the data pad back, and hide it back under his bed somewhere. You can't exactly be sure. He has a wide girth and it's hard to see around him.
Yep.
He says, okay, well, you go clean up. I think tomorrow we put the plan into action.
Okay. I'm just starting my career, and I'm assuming I don't actually have a pension to embezzle or anything, so I guess I'll start going around the room. And I'm also guessing there's nothing here worth stealing, so there's really nothing to do but get some good sleep for tomorrow.
No, he doesn't have any, really cool personal effects, if that's what you're looking for.
Well, if we're fleeing the station, this is when you start stealing copper wires out of the walls and that kind of stuff. But there's nothing here I think that's really worth it.
Right. The only supplies that you would know, other than whatever you could steal from the bathroom, toiletries, would be in the refinery area.
Yeah, I'm assuming that we've already stolen office supplies because I start my job with or start my career with extra electricals and mechanical spares, and so
right. So maybe count those as the backup units for the refinery.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna because I'm actually high tech laborer. I start with a bunch of.
You know what? Actually, no. What ability do you have to pocket things without being seen?
I have both craft and deceit.
All right. Give me. Do you want to do it quickly or do you want to do it smartly?
I'm not gonna do any of that. I'm gonna assume nothing.
Not gonna do any of it. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
Right.
I just thought I would admit that's my character would say. Well, is there anything worth stealing? No, there isn't. Okay, I'll just go to bed.
All right. All right. Quick cleanup. Head back to your room. And as you go down for the night and fade to darkness, we'll move on to another character introduction. Let's see. Random of who's left. Alright, that is Griff.
Hey.
Let's see. It's here. And did I do the token so people can see? I think I did. I think that little speck on that is that other people can see. Yeah, legitimate.
Yep, it is a
little
thing.
Bit bigger.
Yeah, just a tiny little bit.
We just name that. So we never get confused at thinking that's somebody else.
This guy isn't here yet, but that's the only place to really put him for now.
Alright, let me move notepads. Or as you are known as JO-11. No, I'm sorry,
Indeed,
J0.
my designation by my controllers.
J0-11. Alright. Well, how about you introduce yourself the same way that we always normally do?
Alright. This character is J011. An experiment gone probably very correct. But he is very angry, and his motto is that you should fear my power. He is a Towser, and, of all things, a conductor. He has purple fur marked by blue square patterns. He's short and gaunt, but holds himself with an imposing stance, and his eyes are deep and black, as if peering into some sort of background starscape that doesn't move as he moves, like peering into like a snow globe around him secretly.
Okay.
Also, has a slight mutation on his back, full of spikes that cause them his whatever he's wearing to rise up around the shoulders.
Okay. Alright, and you were saying the other isn't here at the moment, so
Right.
draw him out then. Okay. You are in a small, well, you're in a bedroom size. I wouldn't call it small unless your bedroom is average. A bedroom sized, well, at one point it might have been a white room, but it seems to have grayed and yellowed with age.
Mm-hmm.
You've spent most of your. You're 18, right? That's what you agreed?
Yeah.
Okay. You've spent most of your life here, at least 10 years, isolated in this one room. Sometimes you've been brought out to go sit in a chair, in which case you've fallen asleep and then woken back up here. Other than that, though, most of your time spent here. The room is very nondescript. Like, it has square patterns on the walls of maybe a cubit in size. As a measurement you don't get very often anymore. And by the way, that's fingertip to elbow. Cubit-sized white blocks that form up the walls. The
Right.
floor is seems to be made of the same material, same as the ceiling. Tell me, what is it you do on a normal day?
If I'm sitting right here, probably doing a little bit of punching the wall again.
By the way, this is a door. It has a reflective window in the upper, like, head level where you'd expect to
Mhm.
be. But when I say reflective, I mean it might be a window on the other side. On your side, it is a mirror.
And could I presume that any previous attempts of just like trying to bash the door are probably met with some sort of reaction,
Gas. It's usually gas.
usually gas. So I've probably learned not to just try to bash it down, but I am just like lightly punching the wall just out of boredom and frustration, as always.
Okay. You begin punching the wall, and you hear what sounds like knocking coming
From
from behind you.
huh, from this wall.
So you'll go, and then from behind you you hear.
Interesting. I'll go over to the other wall, and I'll give that like a double tap.
All right. So you hear again.
Huh. And that's a brand new noise too, isn't it?
You have not heard it come from this wall before.
Hmm. And I would at least maybe know if these walls are thick enough voices wouldn't necessarily travel through.
You know what? Give me a mind and observation to know. A bonus D8 for time to know if you've ever heard anything coming from these walls before.
Okay. Well, turns out I'm not all that observant, but I do have a mind.
And like I said, bonus D8.
And with bonus D8 for being here so long, well, hey, maybe I noticed something.
One, anybody? No, I don't think you've ever really heard anything coming from these walls before. You do know that if you punch them hard enough, you typically get gassed, same as the door.
Right. No attempting to break it or anything.
What do you mean?
Well, that would be the indication I'm punching it too hard. Hmm. So, a lot of noise on the other side. Is it still just like random clattering, tapping like that?
It's not really tapping, it's like loud banging noise against the wall
Hmm.
at random intervals. Like, even though you've stopped hitting the wall, the noise hasn't gone away. It's still there. It's still rapping against the wall.
And you said it's random, so it's not like a repeating pattern. So it's got to be someone, but it's not anyone who's calming down right now. Hmm. Not sure I have much way to really communicate with this person
Alright.
or thing.
Alright. I'm gonna need you to roll me initiative.
Okay. Let's see what happens. I am super ready.
They are only one less ready than you, but still equally as ready. Because as you're investigating this wall, I'm going to allow you to move back a little bit.
Yeah.
The wall explodes outwards. It seems like the white squares that covered the wall were covering over some sort of plastic-like material that
Hmm.
rips away as a figure just breaks through.
Ooh, wow.
They are they are covered in what looks to be blood. Additionally, they are muttering loudly but incoherently, like what would be described as in tongues.
Gotcha. Let's see. Since I have ready and focus, I'm choosing as my thing to ready. Uh, my leitmotif, Firestorm. Let's
Alright.
drag him back in here.
Additionally, of course, even though I know that the vision blocking layer is blocking it right now, there is a giant hole there that you'd be able to see into a room that looks like. Let's see, you were 8 when you got taken, so
Yes.
it's
Okay.
just a room with chairs in it. It's a dark room with chairs in it.
Gotcha. Okay. So Firestorm is here. Like a three-dimensional object moving in from a four-dimensional plane, just a creature made entirely out of magma. Like a big hulking figure, like a giant Towser.
Okay.
Here we go. And so I am ready. I have that out, and I have focus. So, shall we begin then?
All right. He is initiating things. Let's see here. He broke through the wall, so he is just going to do nothing. It's your turn.
Uh, so he's covered in blood, he's been pounding on the wall, and he definitely looks aggressive and is moving towards me.
Right.
Alright, just making sure I'm reading it right. In that case, I definitely feel threatened, so I'm gonna go ahead and punch the shit out of him with Firestorm. So in order to attack, I will roll my control as an action. And this has damage flat 0, finish, warp, and vulnerable.
Finish.
I'm gonna copy all that and put that into the macro too.
And vulnerable. So flat 0, big 1, 2.
So he does have the chance to dodge or counter, so let's see if he does.
Right. Hold on. And yeah, the one success you needed to do anything since it's flat damage anyway. So finish and warp. And applies vulnerable. What color was vulnerable on your thing, Arcloid?
I believe it is purple. No. Purple is reeling. Vulnerable is pink.
Pink. Alright, so now vulnerable. 4 damage, 5 damage. because he is injured.
Okay. And a quick question. Does it look like there's anyone else in the room behind him? Since I can't actually see
It
into it.
does not. He is dead. You have killed this man.
Oh, okay.
So he breaks through the wall. He looks at you, his eyes glazed over, his mutterings incoherent and unrecognizable as human speech, or whatever the common tongue would be, galactic.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he looks up at you menacingly covered in blood, his own blood mixed in with all the injuries that he seems to have taken. They look like lacerations, by the way. And instantly, Firestorm kills him. In what way do you want to describe Firestorm killing him?
It reaches out and just takes a large bite out of its neck.
Okay. So he slumps to the ground, bleeding from the neck, never to step up again.
I'm going to casually walk in the next room and see what's there. Huh. This door is broken too, isn't it? And so's this one.
They're not broken, they're just open.
There's also a dead body over there.
If you can see it, then there is, yes.
Huh. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stride over here, and that is another dead body, isn't it?
I can't see your vision, so I don't know which ones you're looking at.
Oh, well, I'm looking at this one right here.
Right.
Oh, there's also a live one over there.
Now that you're out in the hall, by the way, you can see the words written on the floors, right?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure that touch was still there. Now that you're out in the hall, your room was constantly lit with a dull glow of what presumably was supposed to pass for daylight. Out here, though, the hallways are mostly blackened. It looks like there were lights that were supposed to be on, but some of them have flickered out. So it does have a constant illumination, but it's darker than you've spent the last 10 years in. Somewhat off-putting, one might say.
Right.
But yes, you can see that there are a number of corpses on the floor. They appear to also be covered in lacerations, much like the man that broke through the wall appeared to be covered in. And from the... let's see, you're facing out. So from your left, just down the hall, you can hear the stomping of heavy footfalls, as well as to your right and down the hall. You should be able to see that one. Heavy footfalls as well.
It looks like it is a robot, but there's a red dot over its face.
Well, you can see the name, can't you?
On the robot? No, actually.
No? Okay, well, hold on. Just gonna double check. Oh, duh. Okay, I didn't click that button.
I see it for the corpses, but just not that guy. Synth. Have I seen those models before?
Not in recent memory, no. But, yeah. You can see that one, and it turns to you from down the hall. The one on your right, that is. And it says, "Please return to confinement cell. Please return to confinement cell." And begins moving in your direction, arms outstretched.
It's definitely broken, and, well, definitely seems to be something going on. I'm gonna at least attempt to, force it to talk to me and just call out, "What the hell's going on out here? Why is everyone dead?" Does it respond at all?
It does. It says, "Please return to confinement cell."
Useless. And I'm gonna go ahead and, Firestorm will go ahead and initiate combat.
Okay. I'm fine with you retaining your previous role, as you were in combat basically already.
Okay.
He is going to... standard ready.
Right, so keeping the initiative then. So that means I focus and ready then.
No,
Not
no,
sure.
I just mean that you're not going to be sent reeling by having failed or anything. You're still in your current action economy. But
Okay,
you're
that's fair.
initiating the combat, so... You know what, never mind, just go ahead and roll. Fuck it.
Okay, yeah,
It's
let's just
the way
see
we're
if I.
supposed to do things.
Alright, so here we go. Damage flat 0, finish, warp, and vulnerable.
No, no, I meant go ahead and roll initiative. You ought to be
Oh,
rolling. Let's
there
not...
we go.
There.
Hey!
So there you go. I shouldn't deny you
Still
your
do.
chance at focus. I don't know why I was doing that.
It's all good.
So, were you going to aim before or not?
Um, you know what? That's actually a really good idea. And I wasn't actually certain if I could aim with the lead motif. I was going to ask that
Oh,
next.
leitmotif.
Makes
Sorry, I
sense too.
forgot that was what you were doing. No, you can't aim with a leitmotif.
Gotcha then. Okay.
It is going to try to dodge.
Let's see it beat a 7.
It does not.
There we go.
It is not immune to warp. It is not. It's already hurt and injured.
Yeah, so that's looking like flat 4 right now then.
Uh, oh, finish only applies to vulnerable. Does it not also apply to?
It hurt and injured.
Yeah, I was
Hurt,
saying.
injured, and vulnerable.
So I was confused by your flat 4 because that's looking at flat 6 so far.
Oh, okay.
Ba-ba-ba.
Must be miscalculating myself then.
Okay, let's see here. Soak. Still 6. It will, of course, break its cybernetic brain and cybernetic body to just be dying.
Hmm.
So,
Stupid
without
machine.
anybody to come to repair it, let's just effectively consider it dead right now.
Yeah. Stuff might happen later on.
Right.
Just to conclude the combat round, I'm just going to say that I'm going to go ahead and guard and also probably take a dash. Since I do not have any items, I am declaring myself to be on all fours right now, and I'll just go ahead and move 5 steps closer over towards the synth.
Alright, and from your left, you can hear, please return to confinement. Please return to confinement. As this one rounds the corner, it had focus. It is going to break focus to...
I guess I am using my focus to guard.
Alright.
That's important.
So, Carbine emerges from its arm, and it attempts to open fire on you, J0-11.
Gotcha.
Let's see. What defense would you like to use?
Oh, well, I think I'd like to use my ability to counter with Firestorm. It'll rush to my defense by rushing straight at the enemy and countering.
Okay, so we're looking at the same amount of damage. It soaks 2, so down to 4. It'll break its brain and its body and still be alive. Or as live as a synth can be. But that ends its turn, so...
Right.
To you. Oh, I'll add vulnerable to him because he's now vulnerable.
Okay. Well, one good follow-up deserves another, and I'm going to go ahead and use a control action to go ahead and finish it off. Get out of my way. And that's an 8.
Alright,
Did not beat it.
Did not speed it. We'll soak. Just for funsies, and it's dead. Has
Yeah, there we
nothing
go.
left to tap.
Okay. So I go ahead and take a moment, just sort of, listen in to see if there are more of those synths around.
Alright, and as you peer around and start listening to the sound around you, we will now move to introduce the third character.
Gasp.
Yes, it is a cat. Let me open up the right notepad. Vryn. Alright, same as we've done before, why don't you introduce your character to us, Arcloid?
I am playing Ivantana Vryn, a underworld Rax pusher. Her personality is comfortably numb, and her personality is only the first one is free. No, not personality, motto.
Alright. Alright, Vryn. You have come to Big Tony's pirate base. A small pirate bay located in a nondescript asteroid floating around in the Cispa belt. Big Tony, despite his name, isn't that really big of a deal. He's a pusher in his own right. Unfortunately, he can't really get a hold of the drugs that he wants, so he has to rely on secondary intermediaries, namely you. Now, you've done a bad thing, haven't you?
Yes. I sold him some Comet.
Yeah, he asked you for something he could shoot up, and you've given him Drano.
Yes.
Now, your plan was to make the deal and get out of here as fast as possible. Unfortunately, when you made your deal, your ride left. Now, they said, be right back. So you've been kind of hoping that Tony isn't going to go for an immediate high, so you can, take your time and get the hell out of here as soon as your ride comes back. But,
That's
you
the
know what?
hope, yes.
Give me a roll of mind and observation.
There you go.
Yeah, you're pretty damn sure that Big Tony wasn't going to wait. When you saw him heading back to his quarters, you're pretty sure he was going to shoot up immediately. So you've taken your time to start packing. Get your
Yes.
shit gone as quick as possible. You find yourself now in one of Big Tony's his crew quarters. Due to hazardous job conditions, he has a couple extra quarters he's not using at the moment, and he allowed you to stay here for the time being. And you gave the minimum amount of effort to look like you were going to stay, but the moment the doors closed, you started throwing your shit back in the bags. But
Yes.
this is the position you're in. How would you like to proceed? You do say.
I have all my stuff packed away at this point, yes.
Right.
So,
And you would know that Big Tony's base is basically you're on the quarters end. You passed through a basically a an airlock area where they put all their, I'm going to air quotes here, loot and also their supplies. And just beyond that is the where they keep their, another air quotes, vessels. So depending on what you want to do, that's your layout.
well, I have no real skill in driving, or piloting for that matter, if this is that kind of vehicle. But it might be the best way out of here. So, is that blue stripe a door?
That is a door, yes.
Okay, and what else is in this room besides, like, anything worth taking that wasn't hers?
There are the storage bins where you had thrown your stuff in and then immediately taken them out. There is the bed
Yes.
that you were supposed to be sleeping in, but you never did. And then there is a communications terminal built into the wall. Other than that, there is the door.
All right. Well, would the door be
Oh, by the way, go ahead
rig-
and mark off a use of bad medicine and add 1.5 notes to your inventory. You did sell him some bad medicine.
I don't think there's any way of marking off uses of bad medicine.
Well,
It's just
just
something.
yeah, no, I understand. I misspoke, but you know what I'm saying. Just go ahead and
Yes.
do those things.
All right. Well, with my paltry craft skill, I'm going to try to see if there's any kind of alarm rigged to the store that will notify people when it's been opened. Because we pushers are kind of the paranoid.
Alright. So go ahead and make a mind and craft roll. And do you have any thing you can add to that?
All I really have besides mind and craft would be academics. If that would be better.
No, I think this is more of a craft thing.
Okay. Nope, not bugged at all.
No, I mean, it seems just like a normal doorway. Slides out from the wall, retracts back into itself.
All right. Well, let's sneak our asses out of here then. Let's go through the after peeking it open and like making sure no one's on the other side.
You You peek through it, and the hallway appears to be empty. Do you
All
have
right.
any ability to sneak around?
I have an evasion score.
Okay, give me speed and evasion. Or mind evasion. You can do it smart or you can do it slow. I mean, you can do it smart or you can do it fast. Alright, one success. You managed to get
I'm
out into the
gonna make
hallway.
with that one success, I'll be good. I was gonna try to maybe do a favored use with that mind
I
die,
mean, if
but
you
I'm
want
not.
to, go ahead. I haven't declared anything yet, so...
Well, that would mean I don't have it for dodging, and I'd rather do that than for sneaking right now.
Yes. Okay.
And the blue stripe on the bottom is a double door.
It's an airlock door, yep. As I said, it leads to the airlock area where they keep their goods and their supplies, and it heads towards where their vessels are located.
It wait, the airlock leads to the vehicles. Oh, then let's go. Or is that the other door?
No,
Sorry, I
it's...
just spaced out what you just said, and I feel so bad for it.
Okay, well let me re-say it again then. As I previously said to the layout of the place, the airlock is where they keep their supplies as well as any loot that they may bring back to the base, and it leads
Yes.
to where they keep their vessels.
Oh,
You
well
are
then.
currently on the living side, where all the crew quarters and everything is at.
All right. Is there any kind of monitor on this door where I could, check camera feeds to make sure there's, once again, nobody on the other side of the airlock?
There is not.
All right.
You
So we're gonna.
assumedly might have been able to do that from the room, the console that you had in your room.
True. But I'm already out, so let's see what happens here. Not much of one for planning.
Alright, let me just do a quick check of... They do not... Alright. Okay. So you activate the door, and
Yes.
you know what? Hold on, let me just change... Oh, that's the wrong... Oh, still the wrong... Oh, yeah. Messing up all over the place. Let's see... Oh, okay. Door's open, right? You can see through it?
Yes.
Alright. That is the airlock. You can see in there. I mean, you can also move yourself to wherever you want to be.
All right. I
As
assume
you
that
can
made noise,
see...
but I'm still gonna check the corners. I do see boots and eyes on the ground
Right,
there.
as you can see, there's supplies and tools and basically just trash just thrown about the room. They got a number of large containers, which you might assume to be filled with fuel or some this or that, and they also have a couple of workbenches for fixing things or hooking things together. And yeah, I think you can probably see them from where you're at. Uh,
Yes.
the Arion, I guess is how you say that.
Would that be the blue one with the tentacles?
Yep, otherwise known as Eyes. You might have spoke to him once before. His actual name is Fortai, but they call him Eyes. And the Crix, known as Boots. Again, you might have spoken to him. You know his name is Paksu, but they call him Boots.
All right. Well, instead of acting suspicious at this point, because there are two people here, just let's walk right through this room as if we belong.
Yes, the royal we. Yeah, they would turn around as soon as the doors open, and the moment you enter the room, they both turn to look at you. Well, Eyes probably doesn't turn. He probably just tentacle eye stalk turns to look at you, and in a sing-song sort of voice, Eyes goes, "Hey, Vryn, where you going?"
Stretching my legs. I have so many.
Sure. I mean, what? Do you want to see what we had, or?
I wanted to take a look and see what kind of cherry rides you had.
Yeah, but that's vacuum out there. You're not wearing a spacesuit.
Well, you got one that would fit me?
Uh, I mean, eye stalks all then turn to look at you and all look at different parts of you at the same time. No, I mean, maybe. I think Fingers might have an extra suit, but he's not really built the same way you are.
Out of character. Out this southern door here is
Yes, it
vacuum.
is the other airlock that I just talked about.
Yeah. So, but there's no vehicles in this bay here.
Right. As described, the vehicles would be on the other side of the airlock. They are sitting in vacuum, yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. So,
This is a very small, nondescript pirate bay, so they are hidden in the vacuum, as it were.
yes. Now, I'm sorry. I finally got it. Okay.
This is an asteroid just floating in the belt. It's not really supposed to look like anything more than an asteroid, so you can consider it to, from the outside, this might look like just a pothole in the asteroid where these ships would then be hidden inside of.